Yep, this is our Special Education Part B IDEA budget hearing meeting.
Yes, and I'll take the lead there. Mrs. Watts, our Assistant Superintendent of Student Services, is available for questions that may arise. As one of the requirements of receiving a federal grant for providing services to disabled students, we're required to annually conduct a public hearing and present the budget that has been approved by ODE on behalf, Ohio Department of Education on behalf of the federal government, detailing how the funds will be used this year. These are funds that we receive annually. It's called a federal entitlement program. It's based on the number of disabled students enrolled and eligible for funding at the federal level versus a competitive grant where you write a proposal and you may or may not get funding. This year, we're receiving $1,710,072.64. These funds support both personnel and contract services to identified disabled students. So we've presented that. We're required, again, to make this presentation in public. As a frame of reference, last year we received $1,645,214.96. So there's approximately a $65,000 increase in funding this year based on the federal entitlement formula. So this is an opportunity if board members or anyone in the public has questions about the proposed budget. If not, it will be presented for approval as part of the business items later this evening.
How many identified students are we serving?
Oh, what was the? So just under 1,000 students. Okay, if there's no other questions, then that concludes our hearing, and we'll take minutes and present them to the Ohio Department of Education and the Auditor's Office to document that we indeed held our annual budget hearing.
Okay.
Need a motion to adjourn.
All right, so no vote is needed at this time, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes. We will reconvene at 7 o'clock for our regular meeting. Good evening. The August 12th, 2014 regular meeting of the Mentor Exempted Village Board of Education is called to order. This meeting is being held in accordance with Section 3313.15 of the Ohio Revised Code. Mr. Wilson, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Jesling?
Present.
Ms. Miller, recorded absent. Mr. Shaw?
Here.
Mr. Tuttle?
Here.
Mrs. Briner?
Here. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to welcome everyone to the August 12th, 2014 regular meeting of the Mentor Exempted Village Board of Education. Prior to this evening, each board member has received for their review and consideration the agenda and materials associated with each agenda item for the board's approval via the district's paperless Board of Education agenda system, Board Docs. The public can access the agenda through the school district's website. The agenda is available through the district's website for public viewing the Sunday prior to the board meeting. The board members have the opportunity to call the superintendent and chief financial officer for information concerning agenda items and to request, if needed, additional information. There are 2 places on the agenda when the board entertains comments from the community. The first hearing of the public is dedicated to those who wish to address the board on agenda items only. The second hearing of the public is dedicated to those who wish to address the board on any subject, whether it is an item on the agenda or another issue. When addressing the board, please state your name. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please address questions to the president. This meeting is being televised on a delayed basis and will be shown on Time Warner Cable, Channel 96.96 in Mentor, and Channel 96.22 in Mentor on the Lake. The meeting can also be found on our YouTube channel, Cardinal TV Mentor, Ohio. Please place your mobile telephones on silent mode during the meeting. First, we'll have approval of meeting minutes. Can we do these all as a group, Dan?
Yes.
Okay. We have May 13th, 2014 regular meeting. There was a correction on there. July 8th regular meeting and July 28th special meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes. And we'll have our hearing of the public on agenda items only. Seeing no one, we'll move on. Superintendent's report and recommendations, Mr. Miller.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam President and members of the board. I have the following recommendations listed under the consent agenda, and I'm recommending approval of items 5A1 through 5A5.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Excuse me just a second. Thank you. At this time, Madam President, members of the board, we are pleased to recognize our School Nutrition Services group tonight for the most recent award from the Ohio Department of Education. I would like to have our special guest come on up to the stage, and I'll introduce her along with Mrs. Lang. I would like to introduce Marianne Delagrange from the Ohio Department of Education, who will make the presentation along with Jenny Lang, our School Nutrition Service Supervisor. Thank you. I'll leave it to you.
Well, I was thrilled to have been asked to present the USDA Healthier U.S. School Challenge Award to the Mentor Exempted Village School District because I have worked with Jenny Lang as the regional consultant with the Ohio Department of Education. Jenny was a new food service director in 2003. She embraced the position and made a valiant effort to learn the school meal program. With the knowledge that she has gained over the years, Jenny applied for the Healthier U.S. School Challenge Award and demonstrated a strong understanding of the nutritional standards that are required for winning such a prestigious award. There are only 28 schools in Ohio that have been awarded the Healthier U.S. School Challenge Award. So on behalf of the Ohio Department of Education and the United States Department of Agriculture, it is my pleasure to award Jenny Lang and the Mentor Exempted Village with the Bronze Healthier U.S. School Challenge Award for the following buildings. We have Brentmore Elementary, Fairfax Elementary, Lake Elementary, Rice Elementary, and Sterling Morton Elementary School. So congratulations to Jenny and her staff for achieving such an accomplishment. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This award belongs to all of those schools and to all of their staff, the principals, everyone that embraced those concepts. It is a challenging award to achieve, and it embraces not only the nutrition standards, but also the entire concept of wellness, additional physical activities, nutrition education. It is one of the proudest moments I can say I've had in my career to be able to achieve this, and I know as we move forward, we will be working on this for all of our schools. I do want to recognize at this time a couple essential people that really assisted me in all the data gathering, and I'd ask you to please come up on stage and be recognized. First, I have my satellite coordinator, Mrs. Tracy Gibson, who has been instrumental in helping me keep that initiative rolling and all the data documentation that's required. At Brentmore, my staff member, Lindsay Lambert, could not attend. At Fairfax, I have our newly retired Diane Lloyd, who was also there during the process. At Lake Elementary, I have Kathy Lardner. At Rice Elementary, I have Debbie Rayco. And at Sterling Morton, I have Julie Norman. Each of these people has done a great deal to help us meet those nutritional challenges, as all the nutritional staff does. But I did want to recognize them tonight. Thank you so much for this award. There will be plaques for each of the schools that receive this that they can display in their buildings, along with a large banner that designates them as U.S. Healthier Challenge Award schools. And those will be given to each of the building principals for their buildings. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'd like to thank Mary Ann for being here. It's not often that the Ohio Department of Education sends someone out to a school district school board meeting, so thank you for being here. We appreciate it. And we know you have other commitments tonight, so thanks for coming. And I want to congratulate Jenny, myself, and the ladies. Our kids are lucky to have you in our cafeteria, so thank you for everything you do to get them fed and get them through the day. So thank you very much. And breakfast, lunch. So thank you very much.
And move along.
At this point, I'd like to give a brief update to the board as we prepare for the school year, which is just a week from tomorrow. So our enrollment right now, if I could, just briefly touch on, we have about 7,620 students that will be enrolled, give or take, and that changes hourly in our office. And so I appreciate the staff and student services getting everybody through. This enrollment projection is about what we thought at this time. I've often said that the housing market in Mentor is pretty tough, and I think we're seeing our population age gracefully and staying in their homes, so to speak. But our staffing has been in line with our enrollment. So as our enrollment has been declining, so is our staffing numbers, which is what you would want and expect. So we are in line with our staffing numbers. I do want to touch really quickly on some of the safety procedures that we've done in preparation for this school year. In the summer, in the beginning, I believe, of July, we had Mentor Fire Department and Mentor Police Department training here at the high school in coordination with Mr. John Diamond, Mr. Bill Wade. They went through the paces, so I don't want to talk about everything that they did, but just to touch on a few things. The police department did a live training, if you will, with blanks, and that was pretty intense. They took 12 of our administrators, were able to witness it and see it firsthand. It was pretty intense, and we hope that something like that wouldn't happen, but we want to be prepared if it does. The fire department, in conjunction with the police department, did a evacuation scenario where if you had people that were injured or wounded, how do you combat that in a bad situation? So I appreciate their efforts, appreciate the high school administration's efforts for accommodating them and getting them through. So we had a lot of learning that we did, both from a school and from a safety service department. Our barricade devices are almost complete here at the high school. You can see as you come into the doors, they're on our walls. That'll help buy time in the event that we have a tragedy or tragic event. So we're glad to get those into our classrooms to be a stopgap and to save time in the event something happens. Now I'm going to talk about positive things for a while. I do want to give a shout out to our classified custodians and maintenance departments who, under normal summers, it's always tough to get things done in time for the start of school year. If you remember last year, we had a little bit of a shorter summer, and that was sort of the pressure and stress I think all those people were feeling. And then this year, we have our normal summer routine, plus all of our initiatives going on with blended learning, with repurposing some of our classroom, and the start of our straight A initiative. So to have that on top of everything, I really need to give a pat on the back to that group. I do want to let you know that last week we finished our summer tech camp for the first time, and some of those teachers I see are here tonight. We had 40 students for our first attempt, and from the reports I've been getting from Mr. Luciano and some of the staff, it was widely successful. So we had students come, we held it at Ridge, we had 40 students, and half of their time was spent on robotics and the other half on iMovie. So we're already getting feedback from parents that if it's held again next year, they want their children to be involved. I'd like to probably expand it, and I'm not sure what that looks like without talking to the staff yet, but I could envision something, maybe we have a feeder system, maybe a session like that at each of the 3 middle schools next year. There goes the custodians getting worried again. But maybe we have something like that at the feeder schools, the elementaries feed into that. Might be a nice tie-in, so more on that later. I want to give also thanks to our teaching staff for their work this summer. We had a teaching tech camp this summer that was involved in iPads and Google and Chromebooks, and teachers came on their own, taught by a lot of our coaches and staff, and so to give up some of their summer time to get that done was really impressive. Good feedback on that. The other piece with that, we had 4, and if I get this wrong, somebody tell me. We had 4 of our elementary buildings involved in responsive classroom training just recently, and I think that was Fairfax, Garfield, Bellflower, and Hopkins. Somebody's nodding? Okay. And Lake, sorry. So I appreciate the time that those teachers put into that, getting ready for this school year. I want to talk really briefly about the 3rd grade reading guarantee, which has been a buzz topic in the state of Ohio. As I think most people know, there's been new legislation tied to the 3rd grade reading guarantee, and that our kids have to be on reading level and have to perform at a certain standard on the Ohio Achievement Test at the 3rd grade level. We still don't have all the results back for all the kids because we had some kids that had to take the test again. At this point, I can tell you with confidence there are 2 that we're still waiting on getting results for. One we're fairly confident will be successful on their test, and the second we're not sure yet, so we're waiting on the results, but I'll tell you that that student has been at Mentor schools sporadically between his kindergarten and 3rd grade year. I want to also mention too that one of the things that I'm going to reach out to our kindergarten teachers this year to look at more early literacy programming for kids coming into kindergarten. We do a good job with it. I think our preschools do, but I think there's some movement there that we need to shore some things up because, and I've always said this, and some of the high school people will bristle, but I think kindergarten is the hardest thing to teach because you have all these kids coming in from all these different backgrounds and experiences. So I think this was sort of a state level issue we were talking about. Some of our kids aren't coming to kindergarten with maybe what they did 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So we're going to try to address that. That's going to be one of our focal points this year. The last thing I'd like to bring up and just briefly touch on is yesterday, Governor Kasich and State Superintendent Dick Ross held a meeting down in Columbus for 20 educators in the state of Ohio, basically outlining what we've done in education in Ohio for the past 4 years and what our plans are moving forward. It was an interesting discussion, some good, some bad. It was nice that I think that Mentor had at least a seat at the table that we can express some of our local concerns with some of the things that we're seeing with testing, which It's something that the governor surprisingly said we have too much of, so I'm looking for some testing relief soon. We discussed the third grade reading guarantee as well, and I anticipate from the governor that Mentor, he mentioned Mentor specifically with our Straight A initiative and Straight A grant, that they're going to roll out additional Straight A grants. They might call it innovation grants, but to the tune of $250 to $500 million. So they're at least putting a push on some innovation. So hopefully we can be a part of that again. I have more detail on that I'll share with the board in an update, but for now, any questions? Kind of rambled, but wanted to share that with you. Thank you. At this point, Madam President, members of the board, I've asked Mrs. Skalski to update you on the summer's permanent improvement projects.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Miller, and Mr. Wilson. Thank you for the opportunity to update you on the 2014 summer permanent improvement projects. These improvement projects support our strategic plan to maximize the capacity, effectiveness, and efficiency of all of our current and future resources, and to provide a safe and secure environment in which students can grow academically and socially. At Mentor High School, the stadium parking lots and driveway were resurfaced, and the stadium turf was replaced. The floor tile was replaced in the band and choir classrooms. At Brentmore Elementary, the playground and 2 parking lots were resurfaced. At Ridge Middle School, the clock system was replaced, and the classrooms were renovated as part of the 6th and 8th grade blended learning project. At Memorial Middle School, a large area of the roof was replaced. At Shore Middle School and Memorial Middle School, 8th grade classrooms were renovated as part of the blending learning project. A new rooftop unit was installed at Bellflower Elementary. At Hopkins Elementary, painting improvements were made throughout areas of the building. Our maintenance staff replaced gym lights with more energy efficient lights at Sterling Morton and Rice, making the spaces much brighter for students and staff. At Garfield Elementary, the floor tile in the gym has been replaced. At Lake Elementary, the sidewalk has been replaced in the front of the building. At Orchard Hollow Elementary and Fairfax Elementary, the clock systems were replaced. The material and abatement project at the high school is underway and expected to be finished on Monday. And I would like to thank our staff for all of their hard work this summer. Many improvements have been made to our facilities, and we look forward to students returning next week. Thank you.
I'd like to say something. Once again, for the 3rd year in a row, projects are on target. You heard that long list, right? That is a long list to get done in a short amount of time. And Mrs. Skalski, once again, has performed at the highest level and driven the conclusion and the successful completion of those projects. This coming year, we're going to be spending way more money, if you're all aware of that. It's going to
Grant money.
All right, grant money. But I want to also add, I had the chance to visit my alma mater, which is not Mentor. And just at the front door, the concrete is busted up. The sidewalk is unsafe where they unload the students on the bus, off the buses. I'm embarrassed to say, and I'm not going to tell you what school that was here in Lake County, but that's just not right. The students get off the bus there, and they have to walk through cracked cement. It's just not right. Ours is A+. And Mrs. Skalski has a great deal to do with that. Thank you once again. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mrs. Skalski. Madam President, members of the board, tonight we are very proud to recognize our teachers who have fulfilled the criteria for Master Teacher. By completing this program, these teachers show their commitment to their schools and their students. I have asked Mrs. Burnett, along with Mr. Tuttle, to make the presentations.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Miller, and Mr. Wilson. This evening, I am honored to present 7 mentor teachers to the Board of Education who have worked very hard to distinguish themselves as a master teacher. The 7 teachers who have achieved this honor have put forth a great deal of time and effort over the course of many, many years. I would first like to thank our Master Teacher Committee who oversaw the process for our teachers. If you are here, please stand when I call your name. Kelly Vidmar, Ann Schaefer, Georgine Ruff, and Carol Larkin. I think Carol's the one here. Thank you, Carol. A master teacher demonstrates excellence inside and outside the classroom through consistent leadership and focused collaboration to maximize student learning. A master teacher strives for distinguished teaching and continued professional growth as specified by the Ohio Standards for the Teaching Profession. Mentor schools, master teachers need to understand student learning and development and respect the diversity of the students that they teach. They need to know and understand the content area for which they have instructional responsibility. They need to understand and use varied assessments to inform instruction, evaluate, and ensure student learning. They need to plan and deliver effective instruction that advances the learning of each individual student. They need to create learning environments that promote high levels of learning and achievements for all students. They need to collaborate and communicate with students, colleagues, and administrators, and also the community to support the student learning. And they need to assume their responsibility for their own professional growth, performance, and involvement as an individual and as a member of the learning community. I am proud to announce our 7 recipients this evening. When your name is called, please come to the front. Our first master teacher recipient this evening is Darlene Adamson. Darlene is currently an instructional technology coach at Shore Middle School this coming school year. Congratulations, Darlene. Would you like to say anything, or are you okay? Okay. Just checking. Our second recipient is Kirsten Dickerson. Kirsten is currently a French teacher at Mentor High School. Congratulations. Our third recipient is Charlene Lorick. Charlene is currently a teacher at Sterling Morton Elementary. Congratulations, Charlene.
We're very proud of you.
Congratulations. Our fourth recipient is Pam Mitchell. Pam is currently a Title I teacher at Brentmore Elementary. Congratulations, Pam. Our next recipient is Angela Schultz. Angela is currently a structured language teacher at Lake Elementary. Our next recipient is Katie Siskin. Katie is currently a family and consumer science teacher at Mentor High School. Congratulations, Katie. Our final recipient is Carol Sturcevic. Carol Sturcevic works district-wide as our English as a second language teacher and is probably in 8 buildings every day. Congratulations. You're welcome. Congratulations to all our master teacher recipients, and continue to collaborate and excel in and out of the classroom. Congratulations. Thank you. Next, I have the distinct honor of recognizing 19 new hires with Mentor Schools. It's been an exciting summer. I'd first like to introduce Chelsea Apicello. Chelsea received her undergraduate degree from Kent State University in 2013. Last school year, Chelsea was the full-time building sub at Memorial Middle School and completed 3 long-term openings throughout the school year. Chelsea was recently hired full-time at Memorial Middle School as the 7th grade English language arts teacher. An interesting fact about Chelsea is that she is a Mentor alum who attended Bellflower, Ridge, and Mentor High School. Congratulations, Chelsea.
Hi. As a former Mentor student, I know it's actually the best district ever, and there's no place I would rather teach. So I'm very excited for this opportunity.
Congratulations.
Good for you.
I would like to introduce Amanda Austin. Amanda graduated from Cleveland State University in 2012. Previously, she has worked for Euclid City Schools, and last year she was a long-term substitute at Fairfax Elementary. Amanda is very excited to begin her teaching career with Mentor Schools as a 4th grade teacher at Bellflower Elementary. An interesting fact about Amanda is that she has coached volleyball for the past 8 years at Lake Catholic. Maybe we could take her. Congratulations. Thank you.
I'm very proud and honored to be a part of the Mentor family, not only a Bellflower Bobcat, but a Mentor Cardinal as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Welcome aboard.
I'd like to call up Kyle Bowen. Kyle is a recent graduate of Kent State University, where he obtained a bachelor's degree in the area of health and physical education. He has spent time at all grade levels, and most recently, during his student teaching, he was at Holly Lane Elementary, Hilliard Elementary, and Westlake High School. Kyle is very eager to join the staff and students at Orchard Hollow Elementary and Lake Elementary as the physical education teacher. Congratulations.
I'd like to just thank Mrs. Burnett, Mr. Porter, and the Board of Education for everyone for believing in me, giving me this opportunity. I couldn't think of a better place to start my career, so go Cardinals.
Next, I'd like to introduce Michelle Berger. Ridge Middle School is excited to have Michelle join the staff this school year. Michelle received her undergraduate degree from Lake Erie College and her master's degree from the University of Akron in the area of instructional technology. Previously, she worked at Madison Local Schools, and this coming school year, she will teach the integrated tech course at Ridge Middle School. An interesting fact about Michelle is that she enjoyed a great vacation this past summer to Italy with her husband. Congratulations.
I'm so grateful for the opportunity to join the family here at Mentor Schools. I know it's a fantastic school district, and I'm so eager to get into the classroom and start working with the students. Thank you.
I would like to introduce Allison Fox. Allison is a 2010 graduate of John Carroll University and completed her student teaching at Lander Elementary with Mayfield City Schools. After her student teaching, she spent time with the Willoughby Eastlake Schools as a preschool teacher, and last year she completed 2 long-term elementary openings at Hopkins for the full school year. An interesting fact about Allison is that she was offered the 3rd grade elementary position last week, and at the same time, she also received a proposal from her boyfriend. Congratulations. I couldn't let it go.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. And, last year I was a long-term sub, and I get to come back home to Mentor. So I'm so excited, and thank you so much.
I'd like to introduce Kelly Jerry. Kelly received her undergraduate degree from Ohio University and her master's degree from Augusta State University. Kelly will begin her full-time teaching career with Mentor Schools at Garfield Elementary. She will be working with the 4th grade team this coming school year. Last year, Kelly completed 2 long-term assignments at Garfield Elementary and is ecstatic to work with the staff and students. She is also a proud graduate of Mentor High School. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Burnett. It is an honor and a privilege to be back in the Mentor Schools, and coming back as a teacher is such a wonderful feeling. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
I'd like to introduce Colin Kelly. Colin received his undergraduate degree from Hiram College, where he completed his student teaching at Rootstown High School. Over the past 3 years, Colin has been teaching at Ohio Connections Academy and is very eager to join the Social Studies Department at Mentor High School. In his spare time, Colin enjoys fishing, and he is also looking forward to embarking on a new adventure as the head swim coach at Mentor High School. Congratulations.
I just want to thank everyone, for my time here so far. It's just been a very welcoming environment, and I can tell that everyone's very passionate about helping students achieve their very best, and I'm excited to be a part of that. So thank you again.
I'd like to introduce Adam Landry. Adam completed his undergraduate degree from Bowling Green State University and is currently pursuing his master's degree from the University of Michigan. Over the past 5 years, Adam has been employed with Bowling Green City Schools as a music teacher. He will be joining the staff at Mentor High School as the vocal music teacher. An interesting fact about Adam is that in 2009, he was the contestant on the April Fool's episode of The Price is Right. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. The Mentor High School and Mentor Whole District instrumental and vocal music programs have such a solid reputation in the state of Ohio, and I really look forward to continuing those traditions with the vocal music program.
I'd like to introduce Hallie Lieber. Hallie is a recent graduate of Ohio Wesleyan University, where she completed her student teaching at Dempsey Middle School and Delaware Hayes High School, teaching exploratory Spanish, Spanish 1, Spanish 2, and Spanish 3. She is a Mentor High School graduate and believes that there are many teachers that have guided her to this point of her career. An interesting fact is that she went abroad 4 times throughout her time in college. We are pleased to have her at Mentor High School teaching Spanish 2 this coming school year. Congratulations.
Hi, it's great to be back. I had a phenomenal Mentor High School experience and an outstanding Ohio Wesleyan experience. So I'm hoping to take all of those things and bring it back, everything I learned from abroad, and inspire students and motivate them. So I'm very excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Next, I'd like to introduce Mitch McGrath. Mitch graduated from Bowling Green State University in 2012 with an applied technology license. For the past 3 years, Mitch has taught for the Virginia Beach City Public Schools as a middle school applied technology teacher. He is a 2007 graduate of Mentor High School, where he has fond memories of playing in the 2007 Baseball State Championship. We wish Mitch the best as he starts his career with Mentor Schools as the 7th and 8th grade applied technology teacher at Ridge Middle School. Congratulations.
I would just like to say thank you to Mrs. Burnett, Mrs. Bonas, and Mrs. Kinsey throughout my whole interview process, and to everybody up on the board. The technology program is growing very quickly here, and I'm just very excited to be a part of it and bring everything that I know and help boost it to another level. So thank you very much.
Next, I'd like to introduce Russell Newman. Russell joins the Mentor School staff as a full-time district-wide social worker. Previously, Russell worked at Positive Education Program for over 10 years and recently has worked with Mentor Schools to provide services to our students and our families. Russell enjoys spending time with his 2 amazing boys, and he is so excited to become a part of the Mentor School staff. Congratulations, Russell.
Thank you, everyone, so very much. The board, Mr. Miller, administrative staff, the assistant superintendents. It's such an honor and a privilege to be part of the family, and my hope is that I can give as much to this school district as I know I'm going to receive as being part of this family. So, thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Next, I'd like to bring up Allie Rushke. Allie graduated from Kent State University in 2013 with a degree in the area of health and physical education. This past school year, she completed 3 long-term openings in the elementary and middle schools in the middle school for Mentor Schools, and she's very eager to begin her full-time teaching career as a health and physical education teacher. Allie will be traveling between all 3 middle schools every day this year. And an interesting fact about Allie is that she loves to travel and is willing to go anywhere at any time. Congratulations.
Hello, I just want to thank you all for this opportunity. I'm so very excited to be here. Just like many of these people up here, I was born and raised in Mentor, Ohio. I walked these halls as a high schooler, and I am so, so happy to be home.
Next, I'd like to bring up Corey Robershaw. Corey completed her student teaching at Edison Elementary in Willoughby Eastlake as an intervention specialist working in the 3rd grade as a co-teacher. Last year, she completed a long-term position with Kirtland Schools, and she is excited to begin working as a at Mentor High School as an intervention specialist. An interesting fact about Corey is that she is headed into her 9th season as the head women's soccer coach at NDCL. Another one we can take. Congratulations.
I just wanted to say thank you so much. I'm very excited to be in the Mentor School District. I hope none of my players are here. I say this with an excited but heavy heart. Go Cards.
Next, I'd like to bring up Amy Satterfield. Amy is a graduate of Bowling Green State University, where she majored in early childhood education. Last year, she worked at Elmwood Elementary, and she's very eager to begin her career with Mentor Schools as a 1st grade teacher at Bellflower Elementary. She's a proud alum of Mentor Schools and has many fond memories being a former student at Garfield Memorial and Mentor High School. Congratulations.
I would just like to thank everyone for being here today, especially my family. I'm beyond excited to be back at Mentor. I truly had so many teachers that inspired me to become a teacher, and I'm ready to give back to the community and go Cards. Thanks.
Next, I'd like to introduce Megan Sineski. Megan graduated from Ohio University in 2013, where she majored in early childhood education. This past school year, she worked for Cuyahoga Heights School District as an educational aide with 2 specific students. Megan can't wait for the school year to start, and she is looking forward to meeting her 3rd grade students at Garfield Elementary. Megan has enjoyed working with kids over the summer, being a camp counselor for the past 7 summers. Congratulations.
Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Miller, and Mr. Wilson, I can't thank you enough for this great opportunity. I'm totally honored to be a member of the staff, and I can't wait to meet my kids. Thanks.
Next, I'd like to introduce Cassie Simeon. Cassie recently graduated from Bowling Green State University in May 2014 with a degree in the area of early childhood education and special education. She completed her student teaching with Geneva City Schools and is ready to jump into her classroom at Brentmore as a kindergarten teacher. Cassie recently moved to Mentor and enjoys spending time with her dog. Congratulations.
I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for this awesome opportunity, and I can't wait to dive in and get started. Thanks.
Next, I'd like to introduce Lauren Touziant. I'm so proud I got her last name. She used to be Noble. Lauren is a recent graduate of the University of Indianapolis in 2014 and will begin her teaching career at Mentor High School as a business teacher in the CTE department. She completed her student teaching at Southport High School in Indianapolis. An interesting fact about Lauren is that she has an identical twin sister and just recently joined the coaching staff at Mentor High School as the girls' assistant tennis coach. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am so excited to be a part of such a reputable school district and can't wait to get started. Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Mrs. Burnett. At this time, I get to introduce our newest administrative staff members to Mentor Schools. I'd like to call up Bobby Blakesley Compton, Bobby received her undergraduate degree in the area of human resource management from Franklin University. In May 2014, she received her Master's of Education from John Carroll University. She completed her student teaching at Garrity Elementary in University Heights in an inclusive first grade classroom. Bobby enjoys gardening, crafting, and spending time with her 3 children. Bobby joins Mentor Schools as the new We Care coordinator for the district. Bobby Blakesley Compton.
I would like to thank the board, Mr. Miller, and the rest of the administration team for this wonderful opportunity. I too am coming home, which I noticed is a pattern. I attended kindergarten through graduation here at Mentor, and it's an honor to be a part of those experiences for a whole new generation of Mentor students, and I'm excited to bring a new energy to the We Care program. So thank you.
Welcome home.
Another one coming home tonight, Jody Parumba. Jody is excited, and so are others, to be back with Mentor Schools as the Lake Elementary School principal. Previously, Jody was a teacher and administrator with Mentor Schools, and more recently was the Perry Elementary School principal for 4 years. Jody enjoys spending time with her daughters Kelsey and Sydney, and also enjoys camping and exploring the outdoors with the entire family. She is proud to be returning back home as a Mentor Cardinal. Jody Parumba.
Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Miller and Mr. Wilson, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to return home to Mentor to serve as the principal of Lake Elementary. As a lifelong resident of Mentor on the lake in Mentor, it's just an honor to serve in the place that I call home. And I'd also just like to thank the entire Lake Elementary community and Mr. Lynch for their warm welcome and helping me with this transition. And I think it's going to be a great year.
Welcome.
How about one more hand of applause for all of our new hirees? Thank you. It's also nice to have so many family members here too that are supporting you. So thanks to moms and dads and spouses for being here as well. Okay, Madam President and members of the board, every year nominations are taken for a classified staff member to receive the Outstanding Service Award. Nominees must demonstrate a zeal and enthusiasm for his or her responsibilities, demonstrate a commitment to the school system, and have the respect of colleagues, parents, and students. The 4 winners selected this year fit that criteria perfectly. It is our pleasure to honor the winners of the 2014 Outstanding Service Award. At this time, I'd like to call up Gail Astrup. Gail? I'm going to read a couple comments about Gail. Mrs. Gail Astrup is a vital part of the Shore staff and brings with her an energy and positive attitude towards her job that greatly benefits our school community. She is always willing to make sure each teacher has equipment, computer labs, and supplies are in a fair and just manner. She has a wealth of information to help teachers with the scanner and printers in the Media Center. Gail also volunteered to run the after-school Access Shore pilot to provide under-resourced students an opportunity to work on the school's computers and stay after work with an adult on school-related matters. One of our principals, Megan Kinsey, had this to say about Gail. I would say that one of her greatest strengths is connecting with the students who sometimes need it the most. She creates an environment that is welcoming, inclusive, and empowering. Students are provided a place to go to work, socialize, and sometimes volunteer their time and skills for the betterment of the Media Center and the school. Congratulations, Gail. Next, I'd like to call up Bill Pratt. Bill? I'll go off script for just a second here. Don't be nervous. But whenever I hear your name at the bus garage mentioned by Karen Girardi, it's always Mr. Bill Pratt. So I want to give you a shout out for that. Karen and Bill's other co-workers have this to say. Bill is to work early every day. He will help with any of his fellow drivers if they have a problem on their route. He also donates his time to help drivers with recertification tests. This is as much as 5 hours a week. Bill has only had 1 day off in 8 years that he's worked for Mentor Schools. He also donates time to call voters to support the levy. He is truly vested in the school district. He loves his job, and it shows every day. He always has a smile on his face and is happy to be at work. When you have that outlook, everyone around you can feel it. Congratulations, Bill.
Very proud of you. Great job.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to call up Mrs. Ginny Vaccaro. Ginny is here at the high school. Home is where the heart is. This quote summarizes Ginny Vaccaro's love for her second home, Mentor High School's cafeteria, where she oversees the preparation of nutritious food options that are available throughout the day to the staff and students of Mentor High School, who she cares about so much. Ginny meets with the students to get their opinions on healthy options that could be incorporated into the menus. Her enthusiasm in introducing new products, for example, sweet potato fries and UBR, Ultimate Breakfast Round Bars, I never knew that's what they were called, to the staff and students at Mentor High is delightful to see as she explains their flavor and nutritional value to you. When you walk into Mentor High School kitchen, you always see Ginny's staff hard at work. That camaraderie is consistently nurtured by Ginny as she works side by side with her staff, complimenting and encouraging them throughout the day. Congratulations, Ginny.
Very proud.
At this time, I'd like to call up Debbie Walland.
Yeah, Debbie.
Debbie goes way beyond the normal job description. Debbie ensures that the superintendent's grant budgets are updated, but all the district grant budgets are updated as needed, and revisions are submitted to the Board of Education for review and approval. Her calming demeanor and positive attitude puts everyone at ease, which results in grant procedures being completed correctly and on time. Debbie also has additional duties that she handles in the treasurer's office. Even with the volume of work going through her office, she is always willing to troubleshoot or answer any of the questions that arise. Do you want to say anything?
Just real quickly, I join her family in being a member of the fan club. Debbie, thank you for all you do.
Also every year, nominations are taken for the certified staff to receive Excellence in Teaching Awards. Nominees must demonstrate exemplary qualities in his or her teaching profession and be involved in activities which reflect professional commitment. These 6 recipients represent the best at Mentor Schools. It is our pleasure to honor the winners of the 2014 Excellence in Teaching Award and also good role models for you. First up, I'd like to introduce Sherry Bowles. Sherry? Mrs. Bowles uses resources from her professional learning communities and professional organizations to create and update innovating lessons for her students. Mrs. Bowles then takes these lessons and shares them with all new teachers when they first start at Mentor High School. Mrs. Bowles coordinates the actors from the Great Lakes Theater Company to work with students on site for 1 week as they become experts on Macbeth. Along with coordinating the actors for Macbeth, Mrs. Bowles also sets up an OGT football game review that helps her students prepare for the OGT test. Sherry spends countless hours providing rich feedback to students, And if you see the paper she has graded, you will see paragraphs of notes which she has written designed to help students improve their writing. Sherry's willingness to work with students on her own time surpasses all expectations. Sherry is also committed to her craft. She spends her free time reading literacy criticism to help her develop even more mastery of her content and developing innovative lessons to engage students. Last year, students, and this is very timely, stood on their chairs and recited the "O Captain, My Captain" speech from Dead Poets Society as their way to recognize all she had done for them. Sherry is a teacher of all students because they recognize how much she cares for them and how hard she works to inspire in them a love of English. Congratulations, Sherry. Next, I'd like to introduce Christy Harper. Christy has the ability to motivate both students to exceed expectations and teachers to try new things. She is proactive in preparing well ahead of the time, yet flexible if a situation changes or something doesn't work. She has invited our staff into her classroom to witness successful implementation of technology in the classroom at Shore. She is a leader at Shore who is not afraid to have other teachers see her trying new strategies, even when she is trying them for the first time. Her students absolutely love coming to her class. They do not just sit and receive a lecture from her, they are actively participating in the learning. Because of this, her students are producing amazing work, and their test scores are consistently high. Probably the most, and this comes from Mr. Pete Dawson, a teacher at Shore, probably the most accurate statement about the talent of Christy Harper was made by a parent, Mrs. Pugh, who helps in her class on a weekly basis. Mrs. Pugh commented that she loves coming in to help because she always learns something in Christy's room. That's true for everyone who goes in there, whether it's a student, teacher, or a parent. Congratulations, Christy. That's good. Thank you.
I'm very proud.
Our next honoree could not be here tonight. She is away, but she asked if I would read a statement, and that's Linda Parker. Linda Parker is at Memorial. I wanted to let you know that I will not be able to attend the board meeting to accept my award, as my husband and I will be out of town. First, I am honored that I was selected to receive the Excellence in Teaching Award. I went into teaching decades ago, knowing that the profession does not get a lot of acknowledgments for doing a job well done. This award is an exception to the norm, and I do appreciate the intent of the award. I have always been proud to represent the Mentor schools and will continue to make all of you proud of what I do for your district. Second, teaching is my passion, and I'm honored to be able to gain the trust, respect, and support of my colleagues, parents, and students. Taking students from the point of "I don't know" to "I got this, Mrs. Parker, bring it," fills me with pride and awe every year. I am a firm believer in gaining an education, as it is the one thing that can never be taken away from you. I do not take the responsibility involved in my job lightly and work hard each day to provide the best learning environment for my students to learn to the highest level possible. For teaching to be excellent, it takes all of us working together for the students in our community, and in Mentor, we do that well. The Excellence in Teaching Award is like icing on the top of the cake, and I'm truly honored to have been selected to receive it. Thank you, and I hope that the program goes well for everyone. Best regards, Linda Parker. Next, I'd like to call up Judy Fry. Judy is dedicated to her students and goes the proverbial extra mile for them. She maintains high standards for herself and her students, yet provides the support of her students to reach those standards. Mrs. Fry is always willing to work with challenging students, whether it be academically or behaviorally, and she is able to coordinate a team to help support those students be successful. Judy Fry demonstrates a zeal and enthusiasm for the teaching profession. This year, she completely redesigned her traditional kindergarten classroom in order to implement the Daily 5 structure. She has also spent numerous hours this summer moving to a new classroom and developing a center-based approach to learning. including not only the traditional language arts centers, but also one for a sand table and social role-playing activities appropriate for the developmental needs of kindergarten. See, I told you, kindergarten's the hardest thing to teach. She is a member of one of the largest PLCs in the building. During these PLC meetings, she seeks new strategies and shares what she has been successful with. The Orchard Hollow staff, as well as other kindergarten teachers, recognize Judy as a strong educator. Her partner teacher for professional rounds had nothing but outstanding words to say about her classroom, and they encouraged other teachers from her school to visit. Other teachers in the building frequently come to her for advice on behavioral management techniques, including how to implement the 1-2-3 MAGIC program. Congratulations. Next up is Jackie Spatrino. Jackie's been described as being passionate and enthusiastic and captures students' attention in and out of class. She has a strong commitment to her work, her schools, and her community. Highly focused on subject matter and instructional planning, she's great at building rapport with her students, families, and her colleagues. She's an exemplary educator and colleague that is favorably noticed and truly stands out in the limelight. Mrs. Spatrino far exceeds the rubric for this Excellence in Teaching Award. She has such zeal and enthusiasm for her profession that she lives and breathes it every minute of the day. She is a leader, an innovator, a risk taker, and a compassionate educator who will go out of her way to share her innovative ideas and strategies with her colleagues. Mrs. Spatrino's dedication goes above and beyond that of an elementary educator because she never stops learning. She never stops teaching, even when the teaching day is over. Mrs. Spatrino is not just an art teacher. She is the star in Starry Night, the sun in Van Gogh's Sunflowers, and the white lily in Monet's Pond. Congratulations, Jackie. And lastly, I'd like to call up Nancy Trace. Nancy is an exemplary teacher. She has shown a strong sense of professionalism and commitment to the field of education in implementing innovative techniques, strategies, and ideas. Her enthusiasm has benefited kids greatly as she integrates writing with other subject areas. She has taught her students to write and share their work in Google Docs, where they are now very proficient in doing. She continues to stay on top of new advances in technology, including using new support programs like MobiMax and BlendSpace with her students. Nancy is a colleague you can count on to bounce ideas off of and is someone who provides great advice. Currently, she has been meeting with grade 4 or 5 reading teacher to discuss alternative strategies for next year's ELA instruction of guided reading in the Daily 5. She is open-minded and seeks out feedback from her colleagues as well. She collaborated with colleagues long before PLC was introduced. Nancy is highly successful in the classroom as her students consistently perform well on benchwork tests that we give to monitor progress and differentiate teaching. Her students thoroughly enjoy the technology Nancy has integrated into her writing instruction for research, writing, and sharing. Nancy beams with pride when she talks about the excitement and success her students have had with research and technology in writing class. She is always focused on helping kids to succeed. She feels that her kids and parents respect her because she will tell it like it is, giving a clear picture of how students are doing, but also showing she cares and will do whatever it takes to support students. She stands by her morals, philosophies, and beliefs rather than just saying what people want to hear. She is an outstanding, highly professional teacher who impacts students and fellow teachers that are lucky enough to work with her. Nancy Trace exemplifies excellence in teaching. Congratulations. Thank you all. Congratulations to our staff. One more round of applause, please. Okay, moving on the agenda. Madam President, members of the board, I'm recommending approval of Agenda Item 5C1 related to certified personnel and Agenda Items 5C2 through 5C5, all related to human resource matters.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Thank you. This concludes my part of tonight's agenda.
Thank you. Board of Education report and recommendations. We need to designate a delegate and alternate for our annual business meeting in November in Columbus. Do we know who's planning on attending? I will be going. Ms. Jesling, do you know if you'll be going? That's the Capitol Conference.
Oh, I am attending Capitol Conference.
Okay.
Sure.
Mr. Tuttle? Do you know if you plan on attending?
No.
Okay. Mr. Shaw?
I'm unsure at this time. I don't
Okay.
think so, but I'll have to check my schedule.
I've done it in the past. I'm happy to do the delegate if everyone's agreeable.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. No, I will follow Mrs. Briner.
Would you like to be the alternate?
I'll be happy to.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do we need to vote on that?
No, just declared as president.
All right, thank you. Legislative report, Mr. Tuttle?
Just a follow-up on the repealing of the Common Core. That's what the report is concerning. I would like to ask if my fellow board members are acceptable to the idea of sending a letter to the legislature, the members of the legislature, to tell them that we're not in support of repealing of Common Core. Any comments, questions on that?
Definitely like to see a letter sent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Chief Financial Officer's report and recommendations, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, it's recommended the financial statements for the month of July 2014 be accepted and placed on file for audit.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
It's recommended the Board of Education approve the investments for the month of July 2014 as presented in Exhibit 7-B.
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
It's recommended the Board of Education approve the interfund transfers presented in Exhibit 7-C.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
It's recommended the Board of Education approve the appropriation modifications listed in Exhibit 7-D.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
It's recommended the Board of Education approve the supplemental appropriations listed in Exhibit 7-E.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
It's recommended the Board of Education approve the purpose, goals, and budgets for 2014-2015 as presented in Exhibit 7-F.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
And that completes my items for this evening.
Thank you. Any unfinished business? Good. Any new business?
Nope.
Okay. Now we'll entertain hearing of the public on any item. Anyone? No? Thank you. No need for executive session tonight. Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.